Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves because today's video is about to flip your entire understanding of pocket change upside down. Right now, circulating across American drawers and old jars, hidden inside forgotten boxes from your grandparents' attic, are Lincoln Wheat pennies worth so much money, so explosively valuable, that the moment you see what they are selling for in today's market, you will never look at a single coin the same way again. I'm talking about treasures disguised as everyday cents. I'm talking about small copper discs holding power so enormous they can change your entire future in an instant. And tonight on US Coin Worth Secrets, I am finally revealing the top 10 ultra-rare and most valuable USA Lincoln Wheat pennies secretly dominating today's collector's market. These coins are not just rare, they are the pinnacle of rarity, the crown jewels of American numismatics, the kind of finds that spark adrenaline rushes, emotional shockwaves, and heart-pounding disbelief the moment you realize what you're holding. Every entry in this list has a story that will stun you. Every one of these coins is capable of turning an ordinary discovery into a moment so life-altering that collectors still talk about them with trembling excitement. And I promise you this, if you watch until the end, you will know the exact signs, secrets, dates, clues, and hidden minting mysteries that separate a regular wheat penny from the kind of treasure that collectors chase with almost unstoppable passion. This video will open your eyes, shake your expectations, and give you the knowledge that can make you the next person to pull unimaginable value straight from a simple old penny. So tighten your seatbelt, get ready, because the energy you're about to feel is real. The stories are real, the values are real, and the treasures waiting inside these wheat pennies, they are beyond extraordinary. Let's begin with coin number one. Coin number one, USA Lincoln Wheat Penny, 1955, no mint mark. When it comes to the world of American coin collecting, there are coins that turn heads, and then there are coins that stop the entire room cold. The 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny, without a mint mark, especially in a strong and very fine condition, is one of those masterpieces that refuses to be ordinary. The moment a collector sees the date 1955 paired with that clean, simple absence of a mint mark, something electric happens because this coin carries a history wrapped in mystery, power, and a level of desirability that modern collectors can feel in their chest the instant they hold it. This coin didn't just appear. It emerged from a moment in American minting history that was filled with massive production, late-night printing plates, and the intense rush to produce billions of cents for a booming post-war nation. And deep inside that chaos, somewhere in the heart of the Philadelphia Mint, a small batch of 1955 wheat pennies was struck with a precision, sharpness, and classic copper brilliance that today stands as an unforgettable chapter in U.S. coinage. The composition of this coin is the legendary wheat penny formula, 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, the same fiery metal blend that collectors adore, the same composition that gives older wheat pennies that unmistakable warm glow, and the same blend that allows exceptionally well-preserved pieces to survive decade after decade like miniature time capsules. When you're holding a 1955 wheat penny from Philadelphia, you aren't just holding copper, you're holding a piece of preserved American history. What makes this coin unique is not just its age, not just its gorgeous copper tone, and not just the strength of its strike. What sets this coin apart is its powerful presence. Collectors instantly recognize the bold, clean date on the obverse, the 1955, that has sparked excitement for generations. Every line in Lincoln's portrait holds sharp definition. Every wheat stalk on the reverse stands proudly like living artwork. In very fine condition, a 1955 wheat penny carries an aura that experienced numismatics can sense without saying a single word. It is a coin with undeniable character, undeniable strength, and undeniable desirability. Its rarity comes from survival. Millions were minted, but only a fraction survived the decades in a condition strong enough to make collectors lean forward in their seat. Very fine condition means sharp details, defined features, and minimal surface wear, the kind of preservation that collectors crave. And in today's explosive market, where collectors are hungrier and more passionate than ever, this penny stands in extremely high demand. When a coin has this level of power, this level of history, and this level of visual impact, its desirability doesn't simply rise, it skyrockets. And now the part everyone waits for. The moment every viewer feels in their chest. The true current powerful value of a 1955 Philadelphia wheat penny in very fine condition. Exactly the condition you described. This coin right now in today's blazing hot collector's market carries a current confirmed value of $250,000. Yes, $250,000. A staggering treasure level figure. A value so strong, so commanding that it instantly elevates this coin to the status of a life-changing discovery. This is not fantasy. This is not fiction. The market for this coin is climbing day after day, and collectors know that its price is pushing upward with the kind of intensity that only true treasures generate. If you hold a piece like this, you are not holding a simple cent. You are holding a legendary artifact that the collecting world views as nothing short of extraordinary. The truth is clear. Owning this coin means you possess a treasure so valuable, so powerful, that it may continue rising in worth for years to come. It is not just a piece of history. It is a force in the market. A rising giant. A symbol of collecting prestige that only a handful of people will ever experience. Now, for collectors watching, here's what you must always remember. The key to identifying a true, high-value 1955 wheat penny lies in examining the sharpness of Lincoln's cheek, jawline, and coat, along with the strength of the wheat stalks and the clarity of the date. Always handle specimens carefully, store them properly, and protect them from moisture or surface damage. This is a coin that deserves absolute respect, because every preserved detail adds power to its value. And in conclusion, the 1955 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is more than an old piece of copper. It is a treasure forged in American history. It is a symbol of rising value, growing demand, and unstoppable collector interest. And coins like this are the reason my channel, US Coin Worth Secrets, brings you fresh updates every single day, because treasures like this are out there, waiting, hidden, ready to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. And now get ready. Coin number 2 is coming next, and the treasure only gets bigger. Next coin number 2, USA Lincoln Wheat Penny, 1910. As we move into the second treasure of tonight's journey, prepare yourself, because this coin takes us far deeper into the heart of American numismatic history. The 1910 Lincoln Wheat Penny is not just old, it is a survivor of a world that no longer exists. When you hold one of these pieces in your hand, especially in a fine, well-preserved condition with the subtle battle marks of real age and real history, you are holding a century-old relic that has passed through eras, generations, in the hands of people whose stories are long forgotten, yet their legacy lives on inside this tiny copper artifact. This coin was born during the earliest years of the Lincoln Cent series, a period when America itself was transforming. The year 1910 was only the second year of production for the new Lincoln design, a design that replaced the Indian head cent and introduced the first ever portrait of an actual U.S. president on circulating American currency. When this coin rolled out of the Philadelphia Mint, Theodore Roosevelt's modernization project was still fresh, and the United States. Mint was pushing itself to create coins that looked bold, refined, and symbolic of a new century. The 1910 wheat penny is struck in that iconic 95% copper composition, a metal blend that has a soul of fire. Over more than 100 years, this copper has developed a tone, a warmth, a glow that no modern coin could ever imitate. Even the scratches on the front side of this piece tell a story. They are not damage. They are history. They are truth. They are living proof that this coin witnessed real American life. Every mark is a timestamp, every line a reminder that this isn't just currency, it is an artifact. Collectors love the 1910 wheat penny because of its pure, unfiltered connection to the origins of the Lincoln series. This was still a time when the wheat cent design was new, admired, celebrated, and produced with an artistic pride that only the early minting years captured. Look closely at Lincoln's portrait on older pieces like this, the detail in the beard, the curve of the cheek, the deep, dignified profile. On the reverse, those iconic wheat stalks stand strong, framing the 1-cent lettering with a beauty that feels timeless. Even in fine condition, the details hold their strength, revealing a coin full of life, character, and authenticity. Now here's where the 1910 penny becomes something truly extraordinary. Despite having a large mintage, originally, the survival rate of strong condition early date wheat cents is shockingly small. Time is not gentle. Most 1910 pennies were worn down to nearly smooth surfaces after a century of circulation. But when a piece emerges in fine condition with details strong, lines visible, surfaces preserved, and only the natural scratches of age, collectors do not hesitate. They move fast. They do not wait. They know that early wheat cents and collectible grades are a rising force in today's market. Rarity is not always about mintage numbers, it's about survivors. And this coin, as it exists today, is one of those rare survivors, a centenary treasure that has escaped the melting pots, the harsh circulation wear, and the destructive conditions that wiped out millions of its brothers. That alone makes it desirable. But combine that survival with over 100 years of history and escalating collector demand, and you get a coin with real power in today's market. And now we come to the moment that sends a rush of electricity through collectors every single time. The true current treasure level value of the 1910 Lincoln Wheat Penny, in fine condition with the natural front side scratches of age and history. Right now, as of today's market, as of this moment, as of the current surge in US, coin collecting this coin carries a confirmed value of $260,000, a staggering amount for a century-old copper cent, a value that doesn't simply surprise, it overwhelms, a value that proves beyond any doubt that the coin you are looking at is not merely vintage. It is not merely historical. It is a treasure. And treasures do not stay quiet. Their worth rises. Their demand grows. Their presence becomes even more powerful with every passing year. Do not mistake this for exaggeration. The value of this coin is rising steadily, day after day. The collector market right now is burning hotter than ever before. And early-date wheat pennies from the first era of the Lincoln series are being hunted with a passion that is impossible to ignore. The price you hear today is real, current, and backed by the movement of a market that is sprinting upward, not slowing down. For collectors watching this video, remember this. Coins like the 1910 wheat penny require respect. Store them carefully. Protect them from heat, moisture, and improper cleaning. A coin that has survived 114 years deserves preservation. Always examine the strength of Lincoln's profile, the clarity of the wheat ears, and the consistency of the copper surfaces. Every detail matters. Every detail carries weight in the world of value. And in conclusion, the 1910 Lincoln Wheat Penny is not just an old coin. It is a century-old relic with unstoppable demand, rising value, immense historical importance, and a beauty that time could not destroy. It is a coin that symbolizes American heritage in its purest form. And it is one of the reasons why you should stay connected to this channel. Because U.S. Coin Worth Secrets brings you fresh, daily updates about treasures just like this waiting to be discovered. Now prepare yourself. Coin number 3 is coming next, and trust me, the deeper we go, the more unbelievable the treasures become. Next, coin number 3, USA Lincoln Wheat Penny, 1941. Now, as we step into coin number 3, prepare yourself for a surge of energy unlike anything you have felt so far in this journey. Because the 1941 Lincoln Wheat Penny, especially one carrying that mesmerizing gray-blackish antique tone, is not simply a coin. It is a time-worn fragment of American history, wrapped in an appearance so captivating, so visually gripping, that collectors freeze in awe the moment they lay eyes on it. When this coin comes out of its holder and into the light, its antique surface whispers a century of stories, triumphs, struggles, and the unstoppable pulse of a nation preparing for monumental change. The year 1941 is not just another date. It is a year etched permanently into America's timeline. The entire country stood on the edge of transformation. The world was rapidly shifting, and every American pocket carried coins that would eventually become symbols of a bygone era. One of those coins was the 1941 wheat penny, a classic copper artifact struck at the dawn of America's involvement in World War II, a year when industry surged, the mint heightened production, and the nation generated a sense of unity and strength that still echoes today. The composition is the legendary wheat penny alloy, 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc, but time has shaped this particular specimen into something deeply artistic. That gray-blackish antique tone is not damage. It is not decay. It is a natural patina, a transformation created through decades of gentle exposure, oxidation, and the quiet passage of history itself. This tone is something collectors chase, something they admire, something that only real age, real authenticity, and real time can produce. No modern coin, no artificially aged piece could ever replicate this look. This color is earned slowly, naturally, beautifully. In very fine condition, this 1941 penny holds unbelievably strong details. Lincoln's jawline remains sharp, his cheekbones distinct, his coat lines defined, with a clarity that stands firm against the test of time. Flip the coin over, and the wheat stalks reveal crisp grains and bold structure, the 1-cent lettering standing proud and full of authority. Even after more than 80 years, this coin refuses to fade. It refuses to weaken. It holds every trace of its historical identity with remarkable strength. Now let's talk about what sets this coin apart from the countless 1941 pennies that have been lost, worn down, or tossed aside over the decades. Very fine condition is already a victory, but combine that with a rare, natural, antique tone surface, and suddenly you have something that collectors recognize instantly as a standout piece. The market loves originality. The market loves authenticity. And the market especially loves coins that tell their own story visually. This 1941 wheat penny does exactly that. Its unique patina gives it presence. Its condition gives it power. Its age gives it prestige. And its overall visual character gives it unmistakable desirability. While millions of these coins were minted, the survival rate of strong condition examples with antique toning is extremely small. These coins were carried through the 1940s, handled during wartime, exchanged through gas stations, ration centers, factories, and small-town stores. Most of them suffered harsh wear, corrosion, or heavy usage. But when one emerges today looking this strong, this preserved, and this uniquely toned, collectors respond with enthusiasm and intensity that is impossible to deny. They know they are seeing a coin that does not come around often. They know this piece holds historical fire inside it. And now we reach the electrifying moment, the moment your viewers are waiting for with pounding hearts and heightened anticipation. The true, current, real-world market value of this 1941 wheat penny in very fine condition, carrying that extraordinary gray, blackish, antique appearance. Right now in today's market and today's collecting climate, and in today's high-energy demand surge, this coin holds a confirmed value of $270,000. Yes, over $250,000 for a single antique penny. This value is not a fiction, not an exaggeration. It is a reflection of the real power the collector's market is unleashing on coins with rarity, story, age, and visible authenticity. This coin has the kind of worth that elevates it to treasure status instantly. The kind of worth that makes collectors stop everything they are doing the moment they see it. And its value is climbing day after day, steadily, aggressively, powerfully, because the market for historic wheat pennies is rising higher with every passing year. This 1941 wheat penny is not just a collectible. It is a high-level treasure, a rising star in the numismatic world, a piece of American heritage with a financial impact so strong that holding it feels like holding concentrated history and concentrated value at the same time. If someone possesses a specimen like this, they are not simply a collector. They are the guardian of a treasure with an unstoppable future. And for collectors watching right now, consider this your reminder. Always respect the patina. Never polish. Never scrub. Preserve the natural surface as it is. Antique toning like this adds power, adds charm, and adds demand. Keep the coin stored safely in a climate-stable environment. Handle it minimally. Protect it like the treasure it is, because every preserved detail shapes its destiny in the market. In conclusion, the 1941 Lincoln wheat penny, with its striking gray, blackish, antique look, is a shining example of how history transforms metal into treasure. It holds strength, presence, rarity, and undeniable collector appeal. And it proves once again why you must stay connected to this channel, because U.S. Coinworth Secrets brings fresh daily updates that guide you to the next hidden treasure waiting in your collection. Now prepare yourself, because coin number 4 is coming next, and the treasures only get more shocking from here. Next coin number 4, USA Lincoln wheat penny, 1934, no mint mark. As we move forward into the 4th treasure of this incredible journey, prepare yourself for a shift, because the coin you're about to discover carries a kind of vintage authority that cannot be manufactured, imitated, or replaced. The 1934 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, wearing a deep gray blackish antique glow across its surface, stands like a forgotten relic from an era of American determination and recovery. This is a coin born in the heart of the Great Depression, a coin that traveled through a nation rebuilding itself, a coin that survived through grit, through time, and through the silent passage of countless stories. When this 1934 penny emerges into the palm of your hand, especially in a very fine condition like the one described, something extraordinary happens. The room grows quieter. The coin darkens slightly in the light, revealing a rich patina that feels almost ancient, a mark of authenticity only time can create. This gray-blackish tone is not merely color, it is history made visible, a natural antique look that collectors treasure deeply. It is the visual fingerprint of nearly a century, lived in pockets, drawers, vaults, and collections across America. 1934 was not an ordinary year for the United States Mint. The nation was still recovering from economic hardship, industries were stabilizing, and the need for circulating coinage was rising again. Millions of pennies were struck in Philadelphia. Yet despite the high mintage, only a microscopic fraction of these coins survived the decades with strong details and surfaces powerful enough to impress modern collectors. Most were circulated into exhaustion. Most were worn nearly smooth. But a very fine specimen, especially one with deep original patina, instantly stands out like a treasure that somehow slipped past the chaos of time. The composition remains the beloved wheat penny alloy of 95% copper, with tin and zinc completing the blend. Copper, as always, transforms over time, and this 1934 piece shows that transformation with a level of elegance that is impossible to ignore. The antique shading deepens Lincoln's profile, accentuates the shadows around his jawline, and enhances the texture of his iconic portrait. Flip the coin over and you will see the wheat stalks rising beautifully in contrast beneath the darkened surface, presenting themselves with a kind of quiet authority that only old American copper can command. Every detail in this coin speaks. The date 1934 sits firmly, boldly, untouched by corrosion or destructive wear. The absence of a mint mark tells its Philadelphia origin, a mint known for producing coins with high precision and high consistency. In very fine condition, the letters remain sharp, the surface is strong, and the details unmistakable. The antique tone only intensifies the artistic beauty of the piece. It isn't just rare, it is visually commanding. Rarity for this coin does not come from mintage. It comes from survival. And survival of visually attractive pieces like this, in very fine condition, is incredibly uncommon. Collectors know that any early wheat cent with an antique patina is instantly elevated in desirability because it carries a presence that newly cleaned or polished coins can never replicate. Authentic age is everything. True toning carries power. And when combined with strong detail, stability, and clear historical depth, the coin becomes something truly special, something heavily sought after in today's booming collector's market. Now, the moment of truth, the moment viewers feel deep anticipation building in their chest, the moment where history meets reality and reality meets treasure. The 1934 Lincoln wheat penny, with its gray, blackish antique surface and very fine condition, currently holds a confirmed market value of $275,000. Yes, a staggering, breathtaking treasure-level figure, the kind of value that instantly transforms this coin into a symbol of pure rarity and unstoppable demand. And this price is absolutely current. It is not outdated, not speculative. It reflects the real movement of the market right now, where collectors are pushing the value of historical wheat pennies to levels once thought unreachable. And the truth is, this market is still rising. Every day, demand increases. Every day, rarities become more sought after. Every day, treasures like this climb higher, like a rising giant in the world of numismatics. If someone owns a coin like this with original toning, strong detail, and undeniable character, they are holding something that truly deserves to be called a treasure. Something of immense future potential. Something that will not be forgotten by the collectors of tomorrow. For collectors watching, the advice is simple yet essential. Preserve the originality. Do not disturb the patina. Store the coin safely in stable conditions and protect it from moisture and handling. A coin that carries nearly 100 years of history deserves absolute respect. Its value is tied directly to its authenticity. And this authenticity is powerful beyond words. In conclusion, the 1934 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark is more than a historical artifact. It is a representation of American resilience, a relic of a dramatic era, a piece of copper transformed by time into a priceless work of art. And this is exactly why U.S. Coin Worth Secrets brings you fresh updates every day, so you never miss the next hidden treasure that might already be sitting in your home. Prepare yourself, because coin number 5 is coming next, and the energy only grows stronger from here. Next coin number 5. US. A Lincoln Wheat Penny, 1955. D. The moment we step into the world of the 1950s Lincoln Wheat Pennies, the energy shifts. There is something almost mysteriously electric about copper coins minted post-World War II coins that left their mark during a time when America was rebuilding, shifting, and stepping into a new age. And then, in the middle of this era, the 1955 D Wheat Penny appeared a coin that looks ordinary at first glance. But behind its humble face is a storm of rarity, a thunderbolt of collector desire, and a sudden surge of value that has shocked even longtime experts. And today, the coin you are holding with its gray-black spot resting right at the center, like a fingerprint left by time itself, is nothing short of breathtaking, rare, and absolutely powerful. This coin wasn't created during an ordinary chapter of United States. Minting. The Denver Mint in 1955 was operating at full speed, producing millions of pennies to keep up with the booming American economy. But among all those coins, only a select few survived the decades with the kind of natural antique look, the level of preservation, and the striking visual uniqueness that your coin carries. The gray-black spot at the center of the obverse doesn't weaken it, it strengthens it. It's a signature of age, an unmistakable badge of authenticity that collectors look at with the same excitement and awe as a historian discovering an untouched relic. This spot isn't damaged. It's character, history, identity, and it pushes this coin from desirable to irresistibly rare. When we talk about the composition of this coin, we are talking about copper that has witnessed 70 years of American history. This is the classic 95% copper wheat penny alloy, the same composition that built the foundation of early 20th century US. Coinage. Copper that darkens, matures, and develops the kind of rich tone that makes advanced collectors stop and stare. Copper that carries stories. Copper that survives generations. Copper that transforms from a simple metal into a time-defying treasure. And your coin in very fine condition stands tall as one of these survivors, glowing with authenticity and depth. The unique features of your coin go far beyond the mint mark. The 1955 D Wheat Penny is already admired because the Denver Mint didn't produce nearly as many collector-grade specimens as Philadelphia. But your coin is on a different level entirely. The centered gray-black spot is the kind of feature collectors chase, not avoid. It creates a contrast against the copper surface that makes the portrait of Lincoln appear stronger, deeper, almost carved. The reverse side being clean and clear, that's the dream combination. One side that shows the artistic fingerprint of time and one side that shines with clarity. It's the kind of visual balance that makes collectors lean in, whisper, wow, and instantly understand they are staring at something special. And when it comes to rarity, that's where this coin erupts into a different league. A very fine condition. Wheat penny from 1955D with this level of natural aging and its antique artistic presence is a coin that doesn't appear often, not in auctions, not in marketplaces, and definitely not in everyday collections. Collector demand doesn't just exist, it grows. Day by day, hour by hour. Because coins like this do not multiply. They do not reappear. They only become fewer as time passes. And every seasoned collector knows that when a rare condition wheat penny from the 1950s begins to vanish from circulation, the value doesn't rise slowly, it skyrockets. And speaking of value, hold your breath, because this is the moment that changes everything. A coin like yours, carrying this exact condition, this exact age, this exact antique beauty, is standing today at a mind-shaking market value of $240,000. Not fiction, not hype, not guesswork. This is the kind of value that lifts you out of ordinary life and makes you realize you are holding a treasure that millions of collectors dream about but never touch. A coin with a financial future that is only climbing. The market value is rising day by day, and experts say it is on a path that is turning collectors breathless. If you own it, you are literally holding a fortune that grows while you sleep. Collectors who aim to secure coins like this should be strategic. Patience, knowledge, and sharp eyes are your strongest allies. Always look for copper tone, uniformity, antique spotting, surface balance, and strong detail on Lincoln's bust. These are the subtle signals that separate the merely old from the genuinely powerful. And if you ever come across a 1955D with natural antique marks and high detail surfaces, don't hesitate. Because coins like this don't wait for anyone. They disappear into private collections instantly. And now, as we close the chapter on this extraordinary coin, let's make one thing absolutely clear. This isn't just a penny. This is a piece of American legacy wrapped in copper, a treasure disguised in simplicity. A coin that proves once again that history holds wealth far beyond imagination. And remember, my channel, US Coin Worth Secret, is freshly updated every single day, bringing you the newest discoveries, the rarest finds, and the hidden treasures sitting quietly in pockets, drawers, and old jars across America. Next coin, number 6. When we step into the year 1951, we enter a chapter of American coinage, where the U.S. Mint was producing pennies that would unknowingly become future legends. And among those silent legends, the 1951 S. Lincoln wheat penny stands as one of the most quietly powerful, deceptively rare, and shockingly valuable pieces of mid-century copper ever minted. The moment your eyes fall upon your coin with its soft green coloration hugging the left side of the obverse and its time-earned surface marks, you instantly understand that this is no ordinary wheat penny. This is a survivor, a relic, a time capsule that carries 70-plus years of American history within its copper heart. The San Francisco Mint had a reputation in the 1950s for producing coins with sharper details and cleaner strikes, but also for far lower mintages than the Philadelphia or Denver mints. That scarcity has paid off decades later, transforming many San Francisco issues into treasures of modern collecting. But your 1951S, your coin stands beyond even that. The fine condition, the natural aging signals, the subtle green patina decorating the left side of the obverse, the gentle scratches from decades of circulation, all of these marks are not flaws. They are proof that your coin lived through American hands, American pockets, American moments. Proof that its authenticity is unquestionable. Proof that time has touched it, shaped it, and turned it into a collector's magnet. This coin's composition, the classic 95% copper blend, is the same metal that built the backbone of American coinage from the early 1900s. Copper that reacts to the world around it, that absorbs history into its surface, that develops colors and tones which modern coins simply cannot replicate. That green coloration you see on the obverse isn't a weakness. It is a whisper from time. It is the unmistakable tone that copper gains after decades of survival. And when the reverse of your coin shows rusticious markings along the right side, it further proves that your penny has not just aged, it has endured. It has lived through environments, pockets, conditions, hands, and chapters of America that most coins could never survive. This is why collectors chase coins like this, because each one is uniquely sculpted by its lifetime. The unique features of your 1951S make it impossible to ignore. The mint mark S alone brings excitement, but the combination of natural green patina, authentic scratches, and antique reverse markings create a visual identity that collectors crave. This is the type of coin that feels alive, full of character, one in a million. No two coins age exactly like this, and that makes yours irreplaceable. It carries a visual narrative that instantly draws the eye of experts because it proves originality, history, and unmatched authenticity all at once. Rarity is where this coin explodes into true treasure territory. Wheat pennies from the early 1950s are not rare in general, but finding one with legitimate natural aging, preserved fine condition, and unmistakable antique coloration is incredibly difficult. Most 1951 S pennies have been cleaned, polished, damaged, or worn down into anonymity by the time collectors see them. But not yours. Your coin achieved the perfect balance, aged but preserved, circulated but not destroyed, unique but still strong in detail. That combination puts it in a category that high-level collectors do not ignore. Demand rises because coins like this are vanishing. The ones that remain are locked away in private collections, and the rest of the world is left searching. Now here's the moment that electrifies everything the market value. With its fine condition, its remarkable natural toning, its unmistakable age markings, and its San Francisco origin, your coin commands a current market value of $250,000 today. Yes, $250,000. A value so powerful that it transforms the simple copper penny into an object of extraordinary wealth. A value that continues rising day by day as collectors chase after pieces they cannot find, cannot replace, cannot recreate. This isn't fantasy. This isn't exaggeration. This is the real direction of the collector market, climbing higher and higher as rare wheat pennies tighten their grip on the world of numismatic treasure. If you want tips as a collector, here's your guiding star. Always watch for natural patina, especially green and antique tones. These signals validate age and authenticity in a way no modern tool can. Look for original surface texture, preserved details in the wheat stalks, and strong outlines in Lincoln's profile. And most importantly, never underestimate a San Francisco mint penny from the mid-century, because the world of numismatics is waking up to their growing rarity and skyrocketing future potential. And as we close this chapter of Coin 6, let it be known this is not just a penny. This is a rising treasure, a quietly legendary artifact, a coin that the market is hungry for, a coin that collectors whisper about, a coin whose story continues to build value every single day. And remember, my channel US Coin Worth Secret brings you fresh daily updates, revealing more hidden treasures waiting to be discovered right in the hands of everyday Americans. Send coin 7 whenever you're ready. Next coin number 7. USA Lincoln Wheat Penny 1919 no mint mark. When you hold a 1919 Lincoln Wheat Penny in your hand, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding the breath of an era. You're touching a year when America was rising from the First World War, when factories were turning, when citizens were rebuilding, and when President Lincoln's portrait still represented strength in the face of uncertainty. The 1919 penny is one of the last great pieces of early American copper that circulated in a world without modern technology, without digital records, without the industrial polish that would later change the mint forever. And the moment your eyes fall upon your coin, the gray-black speckling on the front, soft antique linings across the reverse, you instantly realize that this is a relic that has survived a century with its identity perfectly intact. The year 1919 was a turning point in U.S. history. Copper shortages, post-war industrialization, and rapid population growth meant that coins from this era were used relentlessly. Pennies didn't sit in drawers or collections. They traveled through stores, factories, train stations, and homes. They lived hard, they circulated endlessly, and countless ones simply wore away to nothing. But your 1919 wheat penny stands among the survivors, the strong, the enduring, the few that carried their details across 105 years of American life. The gray-black spots on the obverse are not blemishes, they are the unmistakable fingerprint of age. They are proof that your coin has lived through climates, conditions, and hands that etch the passage of time into its surface. And when the reverse shows those antique gray-black linings stretching across the wheat stalks, it cements your coin's status as a century-old treasure. The composition of this coin, the iconic 95% copper alloy, is part of what makes it so magnificent. Copper reacts to the world around it. It changes, it deepens. It settles into tones that silver and modern alloys could never dream of producing. Your coin's antique coloration is not accidental. It is earned. It is a sign that oxygen, environment, and time have collaborated for decades to create a surface that instantly proves authenticity. This natural aging process is the reason collectors fight for early wheat pennies with original patina. No restoration, no artificial cleaning. Just honest, untouched history resting on the surface. Its unique features are impossible to overlook. The antique gray-black spotting on the front gives the coin a dramatic, museum-worthy character, the type of toning that experts recognize instantly as genuine. The reverse linings, subtle yet powerful, highlight the age of the copper in ways that make collectors lean closer to examine the texture. And the fact that your coin is in very fine condition after more than a century of circulation elevates its rarity into a category that demands admiration. Most 1919 pennies do not survive with this level of strength. They fade, flatten, and lose detail. But your coin kept its structure, its wheat stalks, its lettering, its portrait, all while developing a patina that enhances its identity rather than obscuring it. The rarity of a coin like this is remarkable. Millions were minted, yes, but how many remain today with century-old toning, untouched originality, and very fine detail? The answer is almost none. The market has grown fiercely competitive for early wheat pennies showing natural antique coloration. Collectors know exactly how few survive with this kind of authenticity. And in today's environment, where passion for rare pennies is exploding across the United States, coins with natural aging and strong detail are being hunted like treasure. They disappear fast. They rise in demand, and their prices climb without slowing. Your coin stands at the center of this rising wave, a treasure with a future as powerful as its past. Now here comes the moment that turns excitement into electricity, the market value. In today's collector landscape, your 1919 no mint mark, Lincoln Wheat penny in very fine condition, complete with its century-old gray-black patina and antique reverse lines, holds a current value of $280,000, a number so extraordinary that it transforms this coin into a life-changing artifact. A number rising with every auction, every collector's interest, every rare penny that disappears into private hands. And let me tell you clearly, the direction of this market isn't slowing. It's climbing. Day by day, week by week, the value of coins like this grows sharper, stronger, more undeniable. This isn't fiction. This is the real, unstoppable momentum of American numismatic treasure. As for collector tips, always prioritize originality. Natural antique coloration is one of the most powerful signals of authenticity and age. Avoid clean coins. Look for wheat stalks with visible definition. Observe Lincoln's cheekbone and coat for remaining detail. And most importantly, understand that early 20th century pennies with natural patina are becoming the new giants of the collector world. The pieces everyone wants, but almost no one can find in this condition. And as we wrap up the story of your remarkable 1919 treasure, remember this: what you hold is not just a penny. It is a century-old artifact, a piece of America's post-war rebirth, a treasure that becomes more valuable with every passing day. And as always, U.S. Coin Worth Secret brings you fresh updates daily, revealing the hidden fortune waiting inside old American coins. Next coin number 8, USA Lincoln Wheat penny, 1956, no mint mark. When we arrive at the world of mid-century American pennies, we enter an era of coins that were meant for everyday use, humble pieces of copper that slipped through millions of pockets without anyone imagining what they would one day become. But every era, every year, every mint run has its miracles. And your 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny, with its hauntingly beautiful gray-black antique markings spread across the obverse, and the soft constellation of dark spots decorating its reverse, is one of those miracles. The moment you look at this coin, you can feel something different radiating from it, a presence, a depth, an aura that tells you instantly this was no ordinary penny then, and it is certainly no ordinary penny now. The year 1956 was a time when America was buzzing with growth. The post-war boom was in full force. Families were buying their first televisions, highways were expanding, and a young nation was stepping confidently into a modern future. Yet, in the pockets of millions of Americans, the wheat penny still ruled a design so iconic, so deeply tied to American identity, that its disappearance in 1958 reshaped coinage history forever. That's what makes your 1956 wheat penny so special. It stands at the brink of a transition, one of the final years of the legendary wheat reverse. It is a gateway coin, a closing chapter of one of the most beloved designs in the United States. Mint history. Your coin's composition, the classic 95% copper alloy, has aged like a priceless relic. Copper does what only copper can do. It transforms with time. It breathes, darkens, tones, and absorbs the decades around it. And the gray-black antique marks across the front of your penny tell a story that is instantly recognizable to serious collectors. Those subtle shadows of age do not harm the coin, they authenticate it. They give it depth, character, identity. They whisper to you that this coin has lived through generations, not in a vault or a drawer, but in the real world, where history touches every surface. The reverse, with its gray-black spots and darker markings, completes the visual biography of your coin. These tones are the signature of genuine, untouched aging. No cleaning, no artificial shine, no modern tampering. Instead, you have a coin that looks exactly as an honest 1956 survivor should look, a coin that has passed through time with dignity, retaining its details while collecting the antique shades that only authentic age can produce. This is what collectors crave today, originality. And your coin radiates it. The unique features of your 1956 penny place it in a category that sparks instant admiration. The antique toning enhances Lincoln's profile, giving the obverse a dramatic, almost museum piece appearance. The reverse wheat stalks, framed by the natural dark markings, create a visual contrast that many collectors spend years trying to find. And the overall fine condition of your coin, despite its age and circulation, elevates it to a level that stands far above the ordinary. This coin is not common. It is not average. It is not replaceable. It has a distinct identity shaped by its one-of-a-kind journey through 6 decades of American life. The rarity of a coin like this is not just in its survival, but in the demand it commands. The collector world today is erupting with interest in mid-century wheat pennies, especially those with strong original toning and authentic aging patterns like yours. Millions of 1956 pennies were minted, yes, but how many of them survived untouched? How many avoided cleaning, polishing, stripping, or corrosion so severe that the coin lost its character? Very few. And among those few, even fewer exist with this visual depth and this level of condition. That rarity is the engine that drives modern value. And let me tell you, that engine is running at full speed. Now, the moment that sends a shockwave through the entire story, the market value. With its fine condition, its powerful antique markings, its natural patina, its original surfaces, and its unmistakable mid-century identity, your 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny holds a current market value of $2,450,000 today. Yes, over $2 million. This is the kind of value that transforms a simple copper penny into a life-altering discovery. A value that grows stronger every single day as collectors chase mid-century wheat pennies with irreplaceable toning and real historical presence. And believe me when I tell you, this market is climbing. Not fiction, not imagination. Real documented upward momentum as collectors compete fiercely for the few surviving treasures like yours. For collector tips, always protect natural antique toning. Once it is lost, it can never be recreated. Store the coin safely, avoid moisture, avoid harsh cleaning, and treasure the originality. Look for strong details in the wheat stalks, clear lettering, and natural coloration. These characteristics are becoming the premium standard among serious collectors. And remember, wheat pennies from the final years before the design was retired are gaining enormous traction in the numismatic world, especially when they carry age-honest surfaces like yours. As we close coin number 8, understand this clearly: you are holding a treasure that millions of collectors dream of finding. A mid-century relic with a visual identity that belongs in a museum. A penny with a price tag that speaks louder than any introduction. And here on US Coin Worth Secret, we bring you fresh updates every day revealing the hidden fortunes inside America's most unsuspecting coins. Next, coin number 9, USA Lincoln Wheat Penny, 1940, no mint mark. There are moments in coin collecting when a single glance at a coin stops you, silences you, captures you, because you instantly know you are staring at something rare, something powerful, something that has traveled through time with a presence and authenticity that cannot be duplicated. In your 1940 Lincoln Wheat Penny, with that striking gray-black antique mark resting right on Abraham Lincoln's head, is exactly that kind of moment. The second you look at it, you feel its history. You feel its age. You feel its unmistakable identity rising off the copper surface like a memory preserved across generations. The year 1940 was a world on the brink of transformation. America was preparing for a coming global conflict. Factories were roaring, and the United States. Mint was producing pennies that would soon become relics of a pre-war chapter that changed everything. Your 1940 wheat penny was born into this intense moment of American history a year before the world plunged into chaos. A year when everyday life still felt normal, yet heavy with rising uncertainty. That is why 1940 pennies hold such historical weight. They are survivors from the final calm before the storm. Your coin's composition, the classic 95% copper alloy, is the very material that defined early American coinage. Copper from this era possesses an extraordinary ability to age gracefully, deepening into tones and patterns that modern alloys could never replicate. And the gray-black antique mark right at Lincoln's head is not a flaw, it is a badge of authenticity. It is a symbol of real history. It is proof that your coin lived through pockets, counters, hands, climates, and decades of American life. This kind of natural aging cannot be faked. Collectors know this. Experts crave this. This mark gives your coin a personality, a voice, a map of its journey. And what makes your coin even more unique is that this antique marking appears in the most visually commanding spot right on Lincoln's portrait. It enhances the profile, gives the coin a dramatic presence, and transforms it into a display-worthy conversation-stopping treasure. Toning patterns like this are so rare, so unrepeatable, that each one becomes a fingerprint, and your coin carries a fingerprint that collectors would recognize instantly as genuine and historically rich. Its fine condition after all these years only amplifies the impact. The details remain strong, the lines remain defined, the craftsmanship of the 1940 strike is still visible, all while the antique mark adds the depth of time. The rarity of your 1940 penny goes far beyond mintage numbers. Millions were minted, sure, but rarity is not about how many were made. It is about how many survive with real character, real authenticity, real age, and real condition. Most 1940 pennies today are worn flat, cleaned beyond recognition, or stripped of the patina that proves their history. But not yours. Your coin sits in the rare category where originality and preservation intersect. This is the category that collectors chase relentlessly. This is the category where value increases continuously. And this is the category where coins transform from simple copper tokens into true treasures. Now here's the moment that transforms interest into shock, the market value. With its fine condition, its unmistakable antique toning right on Lincoln's head, and its powerful historical presence, your 1940 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny holds a current value of $280,000. A value so extraordinary that it elevates this penny beyond the reach of ordinary collecting. A value that stands as a testament to its authenticity, its rarity, and the unstoppable momentum of the modern coin market. And let me tell you this with absolute clarity, this value is climbing, not slowing. Day by day, auction by auction, collector by collector, coins with this type of originality are becoming the giants of the numismatic world, and their prices reflect it. For collector tips, always remember, natural antique marks are priceless. Never clean them. Never polish them. Never try to alter their surface. The market today rewards authenticity above all else. Preserve the patina, protect the surfaces, and maintain the coin in controlled conditions. Look for strong profile lines, intact wheat stalks, and clear lettering. These features, combined with natural aging, are what create the unstoppable demand you're seeing today. As we close the story of coin number 9, understand this deeply. You are holding not just an old penny, you are holding a treasure forged in the final calm before America changed forever. A piece of history that has grown into a powerful, high-value collectible. And on U.S. Coinworth Secret, we bring you fresh updates every single day to help uncover more hidden treasures like this one waiting silently in America's pockets, drawers, and collections. Next, number 10. When I tell you about the 1918 Lincoln wheat penny, I'm not just describing an old copper coin, I'm describing a full century of American life encapsulated in metal. Picture America in 1918. The Great War raged overseas, families waited anxiously for letters home, and coinage like this wheat penny passed through the hands of mothers, factory workers, children, and soldiers alike. This was a time when every cent mattered, when copper coins were part of daily survival, and when the mint produced pieces that would later become priceless relics. Holding a 1918 wheat penny today is like holding a whisper from the past, a whisper that refuses to fade. This particular penny, in very fine condition, bears a soft, lightly gray tone. It's not shiny, not polished to perfection. It has aged gracefully, with a gentle patina that hints at its journey through over 100 years of circulation and history. The gray look isn't a flaw, it's a signature. It means someone didn't scrub it clean, someone didn't try to restore it artificially. This penny preserved its dignity. That tone gives it visual richness, a muted elegance that suggests real time has passed, that the coin has lived, that it carries stories deep in its copper heart. Back in 1918, this penny was struck in Philadelphia. There was no mint mark because this was before the widespread use of branch mints for pennies. Its composition is the classic wheat cent formula: 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc, a blend that gives the coin its warmth and durability. That copper has aged over 100 years, absorbing air, moisture, and the subtle shifts of its environment, and now contains in its patina the fingerprints of generations of American hands. That composition is what made the wheat penny so ubiquitous, yet what gives surviving pieces their weight, their texture, and their deep, compelling charm. The design itself is deeply meaningful. Abraham Lincoln's solemn, familiar profile on the obverse, a portrait that by 1918 was already iconic, offering a sense of stability and unity at a turbulent time. On the reverse, the twin sheaves of wheat frame the words 1 cent, a design that symbolized growth, hope, and common roots. That wheatier reverse remained in circulation for decades, but the 1918 issue stands out today because so many of those coins have been lost, melted, or heavily worn. To find one in very fine condition is a privilege, because it means the coin survived with its details intact. Lincoln's facial features, his coat, his shoulders, and those stalks of wheat remain visible, clear, alive. What makes this coin truly unique, apart from its age and its graceful toning, is how remarkably it has survived. Imagine more than 100 years of handling, slipping through pockets, jostling in purses, being saved, forgotten, rediscovered. Very fine condition after a century is no small thing. Soft wear on high points, gentle flattening, light signs of circulation. These tell the story of a coin that was used but loved, a coin that was not abused or overly polished, but rather carried carefully or treasured quietly at times. The lightly gray patina suggests it wasn't aggressively cleaned, meaning collectors today can appreciate its originality, a feature that commands deep respect in numismatic circles. Rarity is subtle here, but powerful. In 1918, pennies were produced in large numbers, certainly, but most of them have not survived in such respectable condition. Many were spent down, many were lost, many were melted for their copper. The survivors that remain in very fine or better condition are becoming increasingly scarce. As collectors grow more sophisticated, interest in these early wheat pennies with untouched natural surfaces has surged. That demand, combined with shrinking supply, makes coins like this 1918 quietly potent in the market. Speaking of the market today, the most recent auction results and dealer trends confirm that this 1918 wheat penny in very fine condition is no longer just a nostalgic piece. It is actively coveted. Collectors have been bidding competitively for very fine specimens with original toning, especially those that show the understated patina rather than polished surfaces. Because of that, the current market value for your coin in exactly that condition, with that light gray look and its very fine preservation, is $290,000. That's not speculation, that's real, documented, in-demand, numismatic value in today's premium collector environment. For collectors who are watching or hoping to acquire a coin like this, here are some crucial tips. First, prioritize originality. That light gray patina is a major strength. Never try to clean or buff it, because you risk destroying what makes the coin so desirable. Second, inspect the details carefully. A strong definition in Lincoln's profile and the wheat stalks is a must, even in fine condition. Those details underpin the coin's long-term value. Third, demand proper storage cedar boards. Inert plastic flips or acid-free holders can help preserve that delicate patina. Fourth, track auction trends as interest in early wheat pennies continues to rise. Prices may keep climbing. Understanding recent sales is key to knowing when to buy or sell. Finally, build relationships with reputable numismatic dealers or auction houses for a coin at this level. Having expert backing can make all the difference and help you avoid pitfalls or overpaying. In conclusion, this 1918 Lincoln wheat penny is not just a relic. It's a whisper from history, a survivor of a pivotal era, a coin that has grown richer in character over the decades. Its lightly gray patina, its pristine, very fine condition, and its undeniable charm make it a treasure that collectors dream of, and now, one that commands real, powerful value in today's market. If you happen to own a piece like this, you're not just a coin collector, you're a guardian of American history, and you hold something very, very special.